In this tutorial, I'm going to be sharing some tips with you to help you maximize your ad spend when it is not a lot. So when your ads budget is not a lot, you want to ensure that you're putting certain measures in place to ensure that the money you're spending is going to produce tangible results for you at the end of the day. So a small budget could be anything from 3K per day, 5K per day, or even 10K per day, which is the equivalent of maybe $3 or $5 or $10 per day, depending on how you actually see it. Now let's talk about some of these tips that can actually help you to maximize this your ad spend, this your small money that you have to give to Mazuka. At the end of the day, Okuma could not use your money to buy chicken and you haven't achieved any results with the money that you have given him. Tip number 1 is to look at what is already working in your niche. So this way, you don't have to go on testing different ad elements. You're just going to be focusing your money on what is guaranteed to produce results. And one of the ways to actually know what is already working in your niche is to check out the Meta Ads Library. So the Meta Ads Library is a collection of different ads from different advertisers that have been running on the Facebook platform for the date range that you actually set. Particularly, you want to check those ads that have been running for a period of 3 to 4 months, because it means that if these ads or if these advertisers have been running these ads for that long, these ads are actually working and is making money or getting them leads, right? So you want to check out this ad and look at their advert copy, all right? Look at how they construct or the tone in which they have written their copies in. Look at their creative and the format that it's been structured in. Is it a video creative or a flyer? And what are the exact words or what are the things that have been used inside of those creatives, whether it's a video or a flyer? Another thing you can also do is to look at their landing pages. You can actually click on their landing pages to look at the structure of how their landing pages is, and then you can, after going through all of these things and having a feel for what is actually working for these advertisers, you can now go on to optimize your own to be like theirs, not exactly copying them. You can just have the idea and then use it in your own creatives. Tip number 2 is to trust Meta. It's Meta's Advantage Everything, which is like an introduction of AI into the advertising system. Everything has actually been easy. So we have Advantage Audience, Advantage Budgets, Advantage Creative, Advantage Placement, and almost Advantage Everything. So this is Facebook's way of saying, just leave everything to us. We know the best optimization settings that is going to be working for you. So you want to really trust Meta with your ads, from the budget settings to the placement and then to the audience targeting. But then there are actually exceptions to these things, right? For instance, if you're going to be running ads that clicks to WhatsApp, I'm not going to advise you to use the advantage targeting, because if you use the advantage targeting, you might be leaving the location targeting and the interest or detail targeting to Facebook. And that can actually bring a lot of unserious people your way, clicking on your ads and then sending you messages that are not in alignment with what you're advertising. So what you can actually do is to narrow your targeting to the specific interest, demographic, and the behavior of the people you're looking to reach. This is also applicable to the location targeting. So instead of targeting an entire country, you can do specific locations within your country, or even more specific locations within the city that you're living in. So this way you're able to narrow your targeting to the specific people that you actually want to reach with your ads. Because one of the things I've noticed is if you use advantage targeting, Facebook is going to be spending a while searching and looking for the people that are actually your ideal audience. And by the time it's done that, money would have been spent, and remember, you don't have a lot of money to spend. Now, where I really like to leave everything to Facebook is when it comes to the placement, right? So the advantage placement actually allows Facebook to show your ads in places where they feel or where they believe that your audiences are going to be more receptive to, the ad, right? But there can actually be an exception depending on what you're really advertising, right? So say for instance that you want to just focus on Facebook feed. You just want people to be seeing the ad on Facebook feed. You can just, go to the placement and select manual placement and then take out, all the other placements you don't want and then leave out Facebook feed or Instagram feed. Now, another thing is if you're going to be running ads to Instagram, you need to know that Instagram is a more expensive effective placement than the normal or the usual Facebook placement, but then Instagram always produces more quality leads and more conversions, right? But you just have to have it at the back of your mind that you're going to be spending a little more if you're going to be doing only Instagram. The number 3 thing I'm going to be talking about to help you maximize your little or your small ad spend is to not run awareness campaigns. A lot of advertisers, when they just start running ads, they like to go and click on brand awareness. I don't even know where they learned that from. So brand awareness, that Facebook advertising objective is majorly used by bigger brands who have larger budgets. All right. So if you use the brand awareness objective, that's like the fastest way to not get any results from your ad, because people are just going to be engaging on your ad, maybe watching your videos and commenting, but they are not going to be taking any specific action. So if you have a little budget to spend, it is better you cut straight to the point of doing the exact thing that you want Facebook to do for you. So if it is sales that you're looking to get, go on to use the sales objective so that Facebook can optimize for people who are likely to buy. All right. Then if it's leads that you want to generate, go on to use the lead generation objective so that Facebook can optimally show your ads to people who are likely to become leads and now go on to convert later on. Then the fourth thing that we're going to be talking about as a tip to help you maximize your little ad spend is to use custom audiences. So custom audiences are a group of people who have already interacted with your business and therefore have become warm to you. Like, we have two different audiences. We have the hot audience and we have the cold audience, and we also have the warm audience. So the cold audience is when you're advertising to people, you're creating a new audience of people who have not seen your ads before. They are going to be seeing your ads for the first time when they go to Facebook or Instagram, right? But then you can actually create a custom audience of people who have, either visited your website, they have followed you or are currently following you on Instagram, or have watched your video or have engaged with your content on Meta platforms at any point in time or the other. So now let me show you quickly how to create an ad using a custom audience. So to create a custom audience, all you need to do is to come to your ads account. I believe you know how to get here if you're not new to running Facebook ads. So just come to where you have all tools and click on audiences. So from the audience tab, you're going to be seeing where it says custom audiences, lookalike audiences, and saved audience. So these are 3 different types of audiences you can create, but you would need to start if you want to use custom audiences, of course, you have to start by going to click on create a custom audience, and then you're going to be seeing different sources that you can create your custom audience from. So you can either create a custom audience of people who have visited your website and who have taken certain actions on your website, like they clicked on a button or they added a product to cart, or they even left without taking any decisions. Then you can also create custom audiences of people who have watched videos on your Facebook or your Instagram account to some certain degree, right? So you can create custom audience of people who watched your video up to 75% or even up to the entire length of the video. Then you can also create a custom audience of people who have engaged on your Instagram account or who have also engaged on your Facebook page, right? So this engagement also involves people who are currently following your account, people who have commented on your account in time past and may not be following you, and people who have liked a particular content on your page. So once you click on any of them, it's going to be taking you through the process of creating your custom audience, which is actually a very simple and intuitive process. Then after creating your custom audience, it's also going to be prompting you to create a lookalike audience. You can create a lookalike audience, which is simply people who look like your custom audience, right? So you can create a lookalike audience of the 1% similarity with your custom audience, or 2% of your custom audience, but then it's always better to start from 1%. Then another tip that can actually help you to maximize your small ad spend is to give your ad time to work. So there is something called the learning phase, which is the period where Facebook gets to understand the settings and the elements that you've actually used in running or setting up your ads, right? So this usually takes 2 to 3 days, right? So whereby it's, getting to understand the kind of results or the conversions that you're getting so that it can now optimize optimize your ad for better results, right? But we see situations where a lot of us are not patient enough, and then when we set up an ad, we want to go back to, every 2 minutes we want to go and check what is working and what is not, and then we go on to change so many things. And the truth is that when you go on to reset things, when your ad is still in learning phase, the ad gets back into learning phase, and then you're seeing situations where your ad is not really working, right? So the rule of thumb is, when you set up an ad, I know that's one of the reasons why a lot of us do this. Even me, I'm guilty of this, right? One of the reasons why a lot of us do this is because we run an ad, and then maybe after the first few ads, we see that we are not generating any sales or any leads, and our money is just going. So you might be tempted to be like, I think I need to change something right now. But I think that the best thing to do is to actually give your ad time to run, right? Give it time to run. So even if you're having higher costs, there is still a possibility that the cost is going to reduce, because the ad is just starting and it's just beginning to get to people. The ad still needs to, it needs time to breathe for it to be able to, really optimize, right? So the rule of thumb would be to let your ads run for at least 48 hours. So after 48 hours, and you see that the cost is still not coming down, like your CPL or your CPA is, or your cost per click and everything is not just favorable, then you can now go on to maybe turn off the ad and then set up something else. All right. So that one of the things that actually makes a Facebook ads work is when you're using different creatives and all that. So you can also just look at using different creatives, so that you have one audience, but then you have different creatives, right? But then if all of those are actually not working, after 48 hours, you can just go on to turn it off and then do something else. So this is also a very good way to ensure that you don't end up burning all your money and you're not getting any results, right? But then allow Facebook time to actually optimize your ad. Then the last thing that we're going to be talking about, the last tip, is to niche down, right? So this is important. If you have a small budget, but then you have a lot of services that you're rendering in the online space. So say, for instance, that you are into the sales of human hair, you also sell bags, you also sell shoes, you sell ring lights, like you're doing everything, right? So instead of running an ad to project yourself as the number one fashion enterprise, in the whole of your city, it's going to be better for you to focus on one product that over time has actually proven to do well, right? And while you're doing that, the people who have purchased this particular thing, say for instance that it's a particular human hair that has actually done well, you can actually go on to sell or project that human hair, and then you can now find a way to cross-sell those other products and services to these people who have purchased something from you. So this way, you're going to be focusing the budget on one particular audience type. All right. So I believe that with all these tips I've shared, you can now go on to do better when you have a little budget to spend on running ads on either Facebook or on Instagram. So if you want to run Instagram ads and you've been having issues with payments and all of that, I did a video recently to talk about how to actually troubleshoot this issue. So you can check for that video in the description of this particular video. Go on to watch it and then see how you can actually resolve your Instagram ads payment issues. And I have an offer going on whereby anybody who follows me on Instagram actually gets a 10-minute free 10-minute clarity call on how to run better ads on Instagram and also on Facebook. Basically, how to run better meta ads, right? Or any question you have about advertising or marketing in general, and how to do it better. All right. So follow me on Instagram, and yes, I get to also follow you back, and then we schedule a 10-minute clarity call where we can talk about how to get or how to do better with your ads. All right. So this is where I'm going to be drawing the curtain on this particular tutorial. I believe you've gained value. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, share this video to people in your network whom you believe would also benefit, and please like this video, give it a thumbs up. All right. And if you have any comments, please just go to the comment section and drop it so that the YouTube algorithm can also help us share this video to more people who are also going to benefit. So thank you very much, and I'll see you in subsequent tutorials.